What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, where all levels of nerd are welcome, no matter where you're from. A different planet.
Ooh. The United States of friggin' America.
Friggin' America.
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth.
But today, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. That's right. Our Thursday show has lined up with the 4th of July, so we are talking about the 1996 classic film Independence Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you said Vlasic.
Vlasic pickle. This 1996 flaccid film.
No.
Blade
Independence
Flaccid.
Day.
So to all y'all aliens, welcome to
To Earth.
Yeah.
Don't steal my line.
No, that's Will Smith's line. Shut up.
I think you did it better than Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ali.
Yeah.
Thank
So let's
you.
get this
Who is that,
started.
Will Smith over there? I don't even know.
Let's get this started. Who
Introducing
are
the
we?
host. My name is Tom.
Ollie.
Caitlin.
Corey.
And I am Josh.
Wow.
Keep going.
Sorry.
This episode is
And
brought
this
to you
episode
by...
is brought to you in part by our patrons over at Patreon,
Patreon.
aka the Nerd On Nation.
That's
Join
you.
today.
We are so happy to have you guys along for the ride. And if you are new to what the Nerd On Nation is, it is powered by Patreon. And what Patreon is a membership service in which you can support your favorite creators, say like Nerd On, with as little as $5, $1. And you get cool stuff like bonus episodes, Discord server, discount merch, all sorts of fun stuff. Discount merch kind of sounded like we had like a discount rack.
Yeah.
don't.
We have
access to our
We
discount
don't.
rack.
on merch.
We have clearance
There
and
we go.
refurbish.
Anyway,
Josh's medicine is making him loopy.
join the Nerd On Nation today to get premium access. Nerdon.io /Patreon.
Patreon.
And yes, I am still sick.
Don't slap the tables. That was
It was
your
your
wrong
one
with you?
rule.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
What-
Don't
It
go
is-
like
what you
this.
think?
What does matter is
So-
Independence
Joke's on you. You're
Day.
editing this later.
All right. It's Independence Day. It's 4th of July. Hope you guys are enjoying
Your
the
freedom?
The freedom. Or whatever you do on 4th of July if you're not from America. We appreciate you too. But that
you-
brings us to our first segment.
Yeah.
Which is at the end of this episode, we're going to rate this film,
Mm-hmm.
which allows us to
Guess
that
that grump.
When it comes
Independence Day.
By the dots.
Jesus.
Alien.
I
Singing
was
with
ready
strep
for
throat
it.
Jesus.
Yeah, not the best choice.
is a choice.
Anywho,
So if you're new
I
to
don't
the
have strep
show,
Sorry.
and this is the first time you're listening, thank you for coming by.
Yeah.
But at the end of the episode, like I said, we're gonna rate this film, and so we're gonna rate it 1 out of 5. And the lowest person in the group rates at that number is going to be the grump of the week. And we encourage everyone at home to play along and send us your numbers and who you think is going to be the grump. And since I always explain, then I'm going to let Ollie pick first.
Yeah. For Independence Day, this is an interesting one.
The first one,
The first Independence Day.
1776.
What year was it?
July.
1996.
1996. So for Independence Day 96, I'm going to go with Caitlin.
And she's going to make the comment.
I'm going to go with...
Actually, why did I pick Caitlin? Anyways, go ahead.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I think it's going to be Caitlin.
Really?
I mean...
Okay.
So 2 on Caitlin. Caitlin, who do you pick?
I pick Ali.
For spite.
You back.
Take it
Ooh.
For spite.
for spite.
Trading blows over
Try-
here.
primarily.
All right, Tom.
Who are you trading blows with?
I want to blow Ali.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
right. That's like
So-
a
So
constant,
2 on me?
though. That's not new.
First, I wanted to be inside of him. Go ahead.
This is tough. I think this is gonna be high ratings all around.
I want to be like the little alien inside of him.
I'll say. Who doesn't have one? We got Ollie and Caitlin, so either Tom or Josh. Tom.
It's never between Tom
was-
and Josh. It's
that was a
never.
dart-
I know.
That was a dartboard with all of our faces on it going...
I was like, so who's the 5 and who's
Yeah.
the 4.9 out of the two of you is really what I was trying to decide.
But also, it's like this isn't the Grease episode. It's it's better to pick me.
I knew it was gonna be you guys are probably gonna be the higher ones, but I wanted to spread the love.
So now that we've guessed, everyone at home, please play along. Send us who you think is going to be the grump, but also what your numbers would have been of the film.
Yeah.
That brings us to our next point, which is our initial reactions and first impressions, which is the complete spoiler of the last part.
Yeah.
So initial reactions. Who remembers 1996?
I do.
Who's 5 years old?
Those are dark times.
I actually do remember that one.
Were you 6?
That's 5 for half of it.
Oh. So I remember seeing this in theaters. And
Jesus.
I remember having a really good time.
I do want to point out is like at the time that this movie came out, we were twice as old as he was. I was
Yeah.
11. You were like, I think
Holy
11.
Shit. I was 4. Because October is my birthday, so I was 4 and I would have turned 5 that year.
Jesus.
I was 7.
My God.
I didn't see it in theaters. Though.
I
You guys
just
were having
remember
little
being
baby boners by that time. Like,
What? No.
I don't know about
Away.
So,
Ali,
Ali,
initial reaction. Go now.
I had a
Talk
lot of fun
loud.
in the theater. It was really cool spectacle
what
at the
you're-
time. Special effects were pretty incredible for 1986 or whatever it was. And it really felt like this grand occasion, like this big event that was happening, which you don't really get. You know, like I don't want to compare it to Endgame, obviously, but like
It was a disaster movie.
for me at the time, at the age, having seen what movies had been able to come out until then, like that was a big deal. That was like one of the big ones. So I really liked it. Yeah. Will,
As the other
Smith,
oldie in the
Smith and Goldblum at their prime. So
Yeah.
check that out.
I remember seeing this in the theaters. I don't remember who I was with, but this is one of those movies that from the day I saw it, I have just loved every second of it. And like I will watch it. I'll watch it every year. And watching it again for
you're
this because I'm patriotic, damn it.
Nice.
Watching it again for this, I was like, wow, I really love this movie. It's just it's not a serious movie. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's a middle 90s
Mid-90s.
action space alien movie that was nominated
Cowboys.
for 2 Oscars and won one.
Things have to just look
It
really
won
cool.
an Oscar.
And
It
Oscar.
won one.
But it was nominated for 2. The fact that it was nominated at all
Is a big deal.
is a big deal because you look at it and you're like, oh, this is a cheesy 90s film.
Like no, this was one of the best things that came out.
I
One of the
love
best
this
grand
film.
spectacles that came out at the time.
I just loved all the quips between Smith and Goldblum, just everything. Yeah.
I love them together.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
you can't say. Yeah.
Starting to sound like Goldblum
I mean,
there.
life, you know.
I do not remember seeing it in
finds a way.
theaters because I don't think I did see it in theaters.
VHS.
VHS all day. Shout out to my dad, Jolie. Showed it to me for the first time. It's a big Will Smith fan. I actually saw this after Men in Black.
Interesting.
Came out the next year.
Yeah.
And I was just on this Will Smith hype, so my dad was like, "Check this shit out."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's a sci-fi guy.
So
I heard he's going to be in The Matrix.
and I had obviously had experience with Jeff Goldblum because at the time Jurassic Park was like still one of my favorite movies of all time, still is to this day. So that was exciting. But I just remember it being like overwhelming.
lot
You know what I
going on.
mean?
Yeah.
A lot happens very quickly, and it's by a lot I mean like how the what do we do? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? We're 15 minutes into the film. What do we do?
Yeah.
You've already they're here.
Stakes are already at their highest.
So I even as a kid I was like I can't process what's happening with all of this. But it was amazing. I mean, you have such like you guys said in the beginning, like Welcome to Earth, stuff like that. The speech that he does for the
Characters.
Independence Day, like you have these some of the most iconic things all pressed into one movie.
Checkmate.
I loved it then. It's still one I don't watch very often. It's not one of those ones that I think about very often. But when I do watch it, I'm like, this is a great.
Or if it's
fucking
on,
movie.
you're not changing it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But when I do put it on, I'm just reminded of how good it is.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm the same. VHS probably after Men in Black. And I remember this compared to a lot of other disaster films. I think this was the time of, and I think the ones that like are relative in my mind at the time, Twister, Dante's Peak, Volcano,
Yeah.
and then later on after this, Roland Emmerich's later film was Godzilla.
Twister's good. We should do Twister.
But when I watched it, I think I was in the same place because I'll open it up and I think I was a little racist when I was younger, like just didn't realize it. Because I'm gonna say it like this: I remember talking to my sister and was like, "Wait, so which of the white ladies died?" Because I didn't know what was the difference. I couldn't tell. I had fucking blindness. I was like, they don't like Asian people to me, as some people would say.
Like
they
Ollie's
say-
anime blindness. You had white
yeah,
people
but I mean, like
blindness?
like to the untrained eye, right? To like people who don't view things or don't realize it, like they're like all races look the same, or like everyone in one specific ethnic group look the same. I'm like, that's how I was for a really long time. I was like, I had to really work hard for this as a child to see how like non-Asian people look like and be distinguished with them. And so for me as a kid, I was like, oh shit, now and then rewatching for this episode, I was like, oh shit, I remember I fucking got confused about that shit. But then later on, being more of a nerd, I'm like,
Which
oh,
two
this
white
person,
ladies, by the way? Is it
the president and then the Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like those two, I was like, where is who? I was like, they're both doing stuff with the president, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it a lot as a kid, and I think it was super fun. And I'll leave it at that.
I think the first time I saw it was on TV with family, since that's how we saw most things. Was
That must
like,
be nice to have family.
yeah, it is. It's pretty great thing.
Wow.
But I watched it several times whenever it was on TV, multiple times over the years. And so watching it now, because I haven't seen it in several years at this point, it was like filling in all the cracks that just like, you're not really paying attention because you're with the family and you're talking about this or that or getting up and getting a snack or whatever. So this time I was actually fully focused on everything. And I'd have no recollection of her being a stripper, Jasmine.
Oh yeah.
At all.
She's a
And-
dancer.
Yeah, and it was probably one of those
Exotic.
things where my
Ballet?
parents probably
I
tried to be
remember
like, "Oh, let's get a bag of chips right
My
now."
parents would
Like,
cover-
send
Just
us
like
away.
chips.
My parents would
chips.
cover my eyes, but they
Yeah.
didn't know my eyes were small. I saw through
They
that
didn't know.
They
Please.
didn't know my eyes were small.
They were like,
Uh-huh.
hold on. And I was like, I see through the knuckles.
I see
Wow.
the millimeter.
I see
Wow.
that shit, baby.
For the
But-
record, you can see that no matter what shape your eye is, because your pupil is just that tiny.
No,
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
For the
so-
record,
anyway.
You don't have smaller
Science.
pupils.
but
I get the
watching
joke.
watching it now was really cool because it felt longer than I remembered, but not. It felt longer than I remembered, but it didn't feel long to watch.
It was a,
2.5 hours.
which was big.
I
totally
which was
forgot
a
that it
big
was.
deal back in the day.
Yeah. And
A lot
that's another
happens
thing that
in
I
this
thought about because I was like, this is a really long movie for the time that it came out in, but it was also like it covered enough information that it didn't feel long.
Yeah.
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 And everything was so
It
high.
entertains you through the whole thing that
It's-
you're like, oh yeah, it's 2.5
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that happen and nothing is a waste.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
It's
Everything-
all
everything
of
feels purposeful.
it's
moving
all
forward.
of Avengers Phase 1 in one movie.
Yeah, basically.
And well done.
And well-
Alien
and well done.
invasion, different characters. One's smart, one's a fighter, one's a person
Oh.
in power.
yeah.
So like Avengers.
So yeah, no, that's pretty accurate actually.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
No. Anyway,
Is that it?
is that everyone?
So initial reactions are done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
I like
would-
the movie
Okay. Well, that would lead us into
Production.
our brief synopsis.
every
I
time.
was just kidding.
I know.
Every single time now, I
Fucking
think.
with them.
Who wants to go? All right. Go ahead, Ollie.
I can give it a shot. You guys might have
Fuck
to. Might have to.
so
might have
much.
to- we
There's
might have
so
to edit
much
this.
information.
Here we go.
All right.
I got you. Distributed by 20th Century
No, what the
Fox
fuck?
Disney. I'm kidding.
I'm like, wait, what happened?
Doing?
So we start in New York City, where Jeff Goldblum's character is having a nice chess match with his dad, talking about the cigarettes being bad for you, recycling, trying to do that better. And then we fast forward to I think it's just the event, right? The ship comes into orbit. Essentially, they kind of break off the mothership. They're going all around the world. People are starting to report on it. Will Smith gets up, thinks it's an earthquake because it's LA. Gets out, notices it, immediately gets called to service. He has to go. He goes in the service. Jeff Goldblum's character, I can't remember what happened.
Calls his wife at the White House.
Yeah,
And he's like, you gotta go.
So
Because he
yeah, it's
noticed
like, you gotta
something
go.
about this
That's
signal.
right. So he gets a signal with his power book, and he's figuring it out.
All the while. In
All the while,
desert.
Will Smith wants
His
to.
power book.
Yeah, it plays into Aquaman later, but Tom knows.
Go on.
I just wanted to make sure that was
Ollie
out
is
there.
all qualms all the time.
It's not.
It does.
Meanwhile, in the desert, there's this
It
old
does.
guy who was abducted by aliens.
Okay, my only qualm. Does that make me feel better?
Jesus Christ. Who got abducted by aliens and he's get picked on and all that stuff, and then later on has to evacuate with everyone else. And it's like, hey, I told you all this stuff's happening.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, we have a mad, crazy drunkard that got abducted
That's
by
what I
aliens.
just talked about.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You speak too fast.
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid. Shout out. Then they're like, oh, hey, look, Area 51 exists. We should just go there. Oh, yeah, by the way, the time sequence happens. All the national monuments around the world, all the
Destruction
worldwide
happens.
monuments
Yeah.
get destroyed.
Every major
Zoo.
city.
Every major city gets hit. So then they go to Area 51 to try to basically like outpace them or whatever, to hide out and to plan their attack. Oh, because that's where like an alien's being kept. And they find the alien
Learn
that
technology.
crashed a while ago, and they were keeping
The
a ship.
Roswell, New Mexico incident.
Roswell, and then they find out the plan of the aliens, which is to wipe out all life, basically go to planet, kill
they're
everything,
locusts.
Use the
take
resources.
the resources,
and bounce.
peace out. And they're like, well, we can't do that.
Like the
and
one
then,
fuck boy you shouldn't call anymore.
And then Jeff Goldblum's like, what'd you say? And he's like, I want to catch cold. And he's like, well, we're going to write a virus using a Mac and take out the alien mothership. That's what happens.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's a virus that interacts with intergalactic computing.
Right.
That's the most important part of the movie
Yeah.
that he has to really talk about.
And then the aliens get blowed up.
And then we win. And we fight for our Independence Day.
Yeah. And inspiring speech.
Yeah, it's
The
there.
end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
Good job. That
Yeah.
was like
Was that good?
Also, the
did you like
president's wife dies.
President's wife dies.
That was like
Yeah.
10 seconds.
And there's like love and
There's
stuff.
love around
Someone gets married.
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
then-
Jeff
Someone
Goldblum gets remarried.
and,
the dog gets saved.
it. Yeah.
the dog is saved.
Dog gets saved.
Yeah.
Will Smith is.
So
Will Smith punches an alien in the face.
production.
Yeah. Who was doing it?
Corey.
I can do it.
You started it, so you might as well
Yeah.
fucking finish what you started.
Thanks, baby. Distributed by 20th
By the
Century
way,
Fox.
if you never hear me do a synopsis ever again, you know why.
Well, your synopsis is leaking everywhere.
Distributed by 20th Century Fox because of these assholes.
All right. So, Josh,
All right,
you're doing. You got it.
I got it. Director is Roland Emmerich, who did Godzilla 1999, The Patriot, Day After Tomorrow, so all the disaster films. Producer was Dean Devlin, who did
Partner in
Stargate.
crime.
Yes. Godzilla 1999, Eight-Legged Freaks, Cellular, and The Librarians TV show. The screenplay, Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, did the mentioned above, who did Universal Soldier, Stargate, and then Roland Emmerich got his first few written works in TV movies. The cast is Will Smith, we've talked about this year. We'll talk about his upcoming films. Is going to be Spies in Disguise, which is an animated film, Gemini Man, and Bad Boys for Life. And announced is a Bad Boys 5 movie. Or four movie. Which is weird.
Wow. Cool.
Jeff Goldblum, who is Jurassic Park, The Fly, Thor Ragnarok, his more notable works. Who's done stuff with Wes Anderson.
And Tim and Eric show great job.
Bill Pullman, who plays the president, who was in Spaceballs, Lake Placid, and recently Equalizer 2. Mary McDonnell.
Casper.
Yes. Mary McDonnell, who was in Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
Donnie Darko and Dances with Wolves. Judd Hirsch, who is in the show, TV show Taxi, Ordinary People and A Beautiful Mind. Randy Quaid, who plays the drunken father, is in Kingpin, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and Brokeback Mode. Robert Loggia, who is in Big, Scarface, and Lost Eastway. Brent Spiner.
He's also in
We
Tim
all-
and Eric's $1 billion movie.
Brent Spiner?
No.
Oh, Brent Spiner, who is Star Trek as Data. And also in Young Justice as the Joker, Warehouse 13, Generator Rex. He's a legend to the nerd people.
Yeah.
Harvey Fierstein, who's Mrs. Doubtfire.
Firestein.
Okay, sorry. Firestein, Mrs. Doubtfire, Mulan, and upcoming Dark Crystal TV show. Vivica A. Fox, who's in Empire, Kill Bill, and the Sharknado series. There's a bunch more, but
Yeah.
this was a star-studded.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a superstar study.
Runtime is 145 minutes. Released June 2nd, 1996. Budget $75 million, and it grossed $817.4
Oh my
million.
Yeah.
So it did okay.
Also, the kid is Buckwheat from Little Rascals.
And also the little girl is Mae Whitman.
yeah.
And the Rotten Tomatoes score for critics is 94, as the audience is 95.
Wow.
Take that, critics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say like this: back when
Taking back
the world
1%.
agreed on things.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't see that very often anymore.
Not
We're the
anymore.
critics in the audience. Well, because now everyone's a critic.
Everyone.
Favorite parts?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Go for it.
I would just say this. Needless to say, there was a sequel that came out recently. Not in the last 5 years.
Right.
It came out, and yeah.
It was
Okay, so
20 years almost exactly.
Can I be honest with you? Didn't see it.
Didn't see it either.
Yeah, not
There-
really. I mean,
really?
besides that
There
episode,
was a-
but
Most of the characters actually reprise their roles.
Yeah.
Not
we do.
most.
Vivica
Oh, a
Fox,
few
Bill
of them do.
Pullman,
Few of them do.
Brent Spiner,
Yeah, a few of them
Spider
do.
does.
The important ones don't.
Will Smith,
No, he's not.
Jeff Goldblum.
No. Yeah. Both of them.
Two.
Yeah.
yes.
Both of them.
The ones that don't serve.
I liked it.
You watched it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I haven't seen
But
it,
no,
so I have no
Yeah,
idea.
No,
yeah.
but Bill Pullman comes back.
Yeah.
Brent
Yeah.
Spiner comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vivica Fox is back.
yeah.
Those were the three main. Anyways, so
Yeah.
going on to favorite parts.
Favorite parts.
So many.
I really liked. I liked how they were able to put in a divorce story in a disaster movie.
Mm-hmm.
With the president of the United States.
No,
No.
with the MIT graduate and
That's
the
a widow
speaker,
story.
Right.
Speaker of the
Never
House.
mind.
Like it's kind of like again, this was a precursor to
Big difference.
the day after tomorrow, where they did the whole Jake Gyllenhaal and Emmy Rossum story, where it was like, oh, a love story in the middle of the end of the world,
Yeah.
and I was like, cool. As long as you could do that, I'm impressed. Where
I
they,
loved that line. I was part of something special.
yeah, where it's like also like,
Something part of something special.
well, I also like, it's like, why you? Why
Makes
you?
your
It's like,
heart
didn't I,
hurt.
don't I always say I want to save the world? Now I get to.
Yep.
And I was like, cool. Like, in all honesty, Will Smith and all his charisma wasn't like the most endearing part of the film. It
No.
was the relationship between a husband and a wife trying to get back together, but more in the fact that like they don't talk to each other because they're divorced, but he's
Yeah.
still holding on to his wedding ring.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those are really like valuable, and that's part of it is that because like in this movie you start at 11, like right off the bat, pretty much, and then it's like where can you go from here?
Well, do you?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, alien vision happens right now. The stakes are at their highest immediately from the beginning of the movie. So the whole thing is like, how can this get more interesting? Well, it's like, well, develop really good characters.
Yeah.
I'll get attached to them, and then I'll care about their story. It's my
That's why
interpretation
Walking
of that.
Dead worked. It starts off at the apocalypse is over. Like
Right.
it happened.
Yeah. Stakes
Yeah.
are at
Where do
their
you go
highest.
from there?
Right.
Characters.
Characters.
Yeah, because one of my favorite parts I have written here is how quickly everything happens.
Mhm.
It's something like less
waste
than
time.
20 minutes. The aliens are already
Yeah.
there.
I mean, the first scene with Will Smith is seeing an alien
The plot kind of writes itself.
Yeah.
in the sky.
So for me, that was like I mean, I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, this is kind of like a masterclass in disaster films, I would say.
Mhm.
How,
I mean,
how
yeah,
the stakes,
absolutely.
how quickly everything happens, the pacing, the characters, like it's all there, but like
How many characters? How many plot lines with different characters you're following?
and coherent as
Yeah.
well. But like I just how quickly and how big the scale of things too.
Mhm.
Like that's a as a writer a very tumultuous task to take on is something like let me just make it inevitable and see if I can take it back from there.
Right.
So and they pulled it off,
Mhm.
which is amazing. So well done to them. I also really my favorite line in the whole film was one of the generals asks Jeff Goldblum character, "Well, how are we going to do that? Sounds great, but how are we going to do it?" And he goes,
Mhm.
"Well, we're gonna have to fly it in." And the way he does that, like, we're gonna have to fly, killed me.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
rewound it and watched it like 6 times.
Oh my god.
That's my favorite part of the whole film. Is that it's just no one any other actor. You'd be like, that's the dumbest acting choice I've ever seen in my life. But Jeff Goldblum, you're like, that seems right. That seems right. In that moment, he would do that. So yeah, and then
It's a good Jeff Goldblum decision.
my other favorite one was the line, the argument they have in the kitchen of the Area 51,
Oh, yeah.
where she's like, I left. It wasn't enough for you to stay with me. And she's like, I left to further my career. It's what I wanted to further myself. Haven't you ever wanted to be part of something special? And just slams the drink
Slams it,
down.
and
He's
he's
like, I
like,
was
I
part of
was.
something special.
Thought
And
I
that
was.
was just a gut punch to me. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is really good writing.
Yeah.
Really good writing.
TV writing, TV movie writing.
Yeah.
I would be remiss, as Ollie likes to say, to not do the part that Josh fucking opened the episode with is the fucking speech.
Yeah.
And when the sequel came out, I was like, yeah, I hear that speech one more time, baby. Just give me one more time. That was so good.
God.
Wow.
Imagine the
Okay.
Next
speech-
person, yeah.
That speech done ASMR.
No.
Prefer not to actually, but
We will go quietly into the night.
I liked
Movie.
I liked the movie. I did like the sort of horror that it went into when they're opening up the biomechanical suit, and it has like the smoke on the
yes.
window, and he goes up and he's like the
That
creepy.
was- That
Yeah.
is also one of my favorite parts. It's
That
just-
was-
and the way he's talking. What do you want from us? Die.
Yeah,
You're
like
like,
that
wow.
Like,
was
oh, okay.
Is there a
scary.
chance for
You just want us to
peace,
die.
or-
it like it
No
was
peace.
it was like what everyone that I've heard everyone who has ever talked about aliens be like, oh, I wish we could just communicate with aliens, whatever. And then this was like, okay,
No, you don't.
In a weird way,
they want you to
this
die.
might trigger somebody at this table. I don't know, but like I find them more menacing than like the aliens in Alien.
Yeah,
Because they're
yeah.
they have the same like physique, kind of like they have
Well, they have the means to communicate.
they have the mean yeah. Well, they have their bodies are meant to like kill things, right?
Who?
Like just like the exoskeleton,
The
exomorph,
biomechanical
the
xenomorph.
xenomorph,
I was like,
exomorph.
Oh,
Pick which one you guys are talking about.
The
Yeah.
xenomorph from Alien.
yeah.
I find the alien in ID4 more scary
Oh,
because
interesting.
it has that same like body type where it's a killing machine, but it's like an intelligent killing machine.
I would say it's more menacing that it can choose
Right.
versus an
That's-
alien is purely survival.
Do you
purely
know
survival.
what took it away from me? That they're the only reason they're not more frightening
What?
is because Will Smith punched
Punched
him.
him.
Punches it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I was like,
That
well, punch the
moment-
xenomorph. It'd be like,
Well,
fuck
And it's
you.
also it's also their exo suit.
right.
I would say as well that's compounded with the fact that he's like their bodies are just as fragile as ours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like with an alien xenomorph, it's like if it just spat at you, you die.
That's a good point.
Like, and that's the main thing. It's like again, monster aliens. Like alien xenomorph are almost monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not thinking. They're just based on
survival.
instinct.
It's
But
the lizard
these-
part of your brain.
Yeah.
But these aliens
They
are
choose.
like us.
They find
in a
places
way,
that have
which
resources,
makes them scarier.
Which makes them scarier.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the thing where it was like, yeah, they're locusts. They go to one place, drain its natural resources, and peace out. It's like cool. Like I liked that because at first I was like remembering watching the movie and I forgot that part. I forgot like what is their fucking intention,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. They're monsters because it's like cool. They're mindless aliens. 4 favorite parts.
Well, I had another one. And it's gone right now.
The movie,
It's gone.
Yeah.
the credits.
One of my favorite parts. One of my favorite parts is towards the end when Goldblum's character and Will Smith's character, they're in the spaceship, in the mothership, and they're like hiding, and then all of a sudden they like kind of pop up because the jig is up, so to speak, because the aliens figure out like something's going on,
Hi.
and they're
Hello.
like, hey,
Hey there.
hey, and then like it's so.
Do you think they have any
cheesy.
idea? No, I don't think so.
It's so cheesy, but they shoot off the rocket, and the second that the rocket blows up, the alien doesn't change a face. It just is like it looks at him. The camera goes to him, and it's just kind of the cheesy oh shit moment, but for the alien.
Yeah.
I fucking love it, but it's just like
To add to that, there's a bit of cheesiness with. I didn't hear the fat lady things like you're obsessed with the fat lady. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fat lady. I
Like,
don't know who
yeah,
the fat
seriously,
lady-
like this is so fucking 90s.
yeah.
very, very
Oh.
90s.
The other moment was when Jasmine and the first lady are like talking, and she's like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And she's expecting like, "Oh, I'm a nurse or whatever," and she's like, "Oh, I'm a dancer, exotic," and she's like, "Oh,
No, she was a dancer, and she goes, "Oh, ballet?
yeah." She's like,
Not exactly.
"No."
Exotic."
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
she's like, "Oh, I'm so
sorry."
sorry." She's like, "Don't be," because she was like, "No, it's good money and it's great. I don't
Yep.
care."
One of the favorite things when I rewatched it recently, shout out to the kid playing with the Ghidorah toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
saw
I
that
had
too, and
that
was like,
exact toy.
oh man.
It was the Mecha Ghidorah. I was like, I fucking had that toy.
How
That's
good
awesome.
did it feel watching the president fire the Secretary of Defense?
Oh,
Oh
that
my
was
god,
awesome.
that
Respect.
skis ball.
Was that just not like, oh, so satisfying?
Yeah.
and then
it's
the
pretty good.
you can't do that. He just
just-
did.
he just did.
Yeah. I was just like, whoo.
Just let me hit you with the other side of the hand.
Have you gone
now.
yet?
That's basically what that was.
Another one of my favorite parts, and this is just like it's weird. It's not a favorite part, but it's my favorite. It's one of the reasons I like the movie so much, and it's the dates that come on screen. July 2nd, July 3rd, July 4th. Like to me, I ate that up. Like I was all about like because the whole
countdown.
like the two. It's weird. The first 2/3 is like I like more than the third act. Not the third act is like bad, but like marginally more because like stuff's happening and there's nothing that they can do about it. So the whole story for this beginning half of the movie is them like, what are you doing in these last moments? You know, like with the people that are around you, with the
Yeah.
people you care about, the places you're trying to go.
Yeah.
What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
That's what
I doodle, and she looks
Oh,
at my
doodles.
doodles.
Well,
Corey
that's,
drew an alien that says
Well, I
it
was
likes
gonna
butts.
I was gonna say that's why you like all the
I have
Russo
ADD.
films.
Because of the location
The
titles.
giant fucking
I love those. I love the location
That's a
titles.
good
in
point.
this. Queen's all huge. That was a huge moment in that movie.
The secretary of the House, the guy who got fired,
I think it was Secretary.
The guy who, yeah.
Defense.
Defense?
Maybe I got it wrong.
James Rebhorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
he's just a skeezy guy in everything he's in.
Yeah.
he plays it well.
He said a sleepwalk with me. He's his dad. He's very endearing.
But I
and all.
really
there you
did like that premise of the president and where he had to grow, and like
Yeah.
the polls say like we wanted a president, we got a pansy,
A wimp.
a wimp, and I was like he used to be in the Air Force and he was a fighter and all this stuff, but like the moment you can't just make decisions and kill things, you have to like think about the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like it grew like yeah, I get that. Like I like how that I think that's what happens a lot to, you know, the warrior state of mind, the soldier state of mind, where it's like, yeah, on the field there is a clear like there's the enemy, they're shooting at me, I go after them. Versus like I have to think about everybody. So I like like that happened in the first like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it was cool to see him. Like, what other disaster movie does the president get to go? Fight.
Air Force One.
Air Force One. It's
Get
not a
off
disaster
my
movie.
it's not
But
a
that's
disaster
in the
movie.
play. But you know, it's not a disaster movie. Like he's actually out flying with.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
No.
It's
Is it a disaster movie?
North Korea takes over and then the president and Gerard Butler fight people.
Well, there you go. So
Hmm.
two.
London, White House Down.
No, that's not the same. Not
No.
the fucking same. He
Disaster
doesn't get in his
movie.
own
I think
fighter pilot. And
Not straight to DVD.
I think it might be actually the same director.
That's fine. It's still a different thing. But it felt good to see Bill Pullman up flying around in the jets with his boys, and
Yeah.
I mean a lot of them got
Oh, that's
killed,
another one of my favorite
unfortunately.
parts was I'm back.
I'm back.
So good.
Oh,
Randy Quaid's phenomenal.
really quick. Also, shout out to the casting director because the kids look so related.
They do.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
And I was like,
you-
that's
you
so
buy them.
awkward.
You immediately
That's so
buy them.
weird that they look so related. The Randy Quaid's kids,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the daughter and the son of Miguel, and I was like, oh my god.
Because you could have easily like hated that part, that aspect of the film, like if they were poorly done. But I feel like they were really well cast. I dug the storyline.
I mean, they
It
didn't
was
have much to
entertaining.
do, but I was like,
Right,
ugh,
but it was like
whoa.
it was interesting, and it kind of
I when I went
do
to go,
like a couple teenage problems, but then I like that it's switched to them being like a family wanting to take care
when
of
I
each other.
when I wrote the show notes, I was like, are they actually related? What the fuck?
This could be the last night we're alive. Do you want to die a virgin?
So good, it was so good.
Disgusting.
Ugh.
Fucking disgusting. That's it for me.
That's so 90s though.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super 90s.
Especially
yeah.
that kid. That kid was like the heartthrob
I mean,
for a
Hocus
few
Pocus.
years.
They had to wait for a virgin to light the candle.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh, the
that
kid
he's
in the truck.
virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like a
Gonna be a big
heartthrob.
yikes from
He
me.
was.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Him and Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, they were.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. JTT.
I did like. I mean, I also like. Again, I like a lot where these characters started at and where they had to go. Did they all get there? Kind of. I liked where the kid was, you know, and he's like his dad's a drunk. He's like, this is the wrong field. Blah blah blah. Lucas's farm's on the other side of town, and I was like, he's the real man of the house because his dad fucking traumatized and no one believes him. It's like, oh, that fucking sucks. And like, it's just such a fucking hokey like '90s farmer dad is taken like abducted by the aliens and shit. But like the one time it's true, it fucking works out really well. So I liked that, and then now he has a newfound respect for his dad and shit. He's the man of the house, but under different precedent. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
any other favorite parts? When it exploded things.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
was
the
cool.
attack is a pretty. I mean, it's staple. You know, it's iconic. Like destroying the White House.
Again, a good way to show omnipotence, blowing up things and things blowing away instead of just dusting it away.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this had to be miniature work, which is
Oh,
like
yeah.
phenomenal miniature work.
Really good.
But
Yeah.
still,
Really?
I like when cars just fly.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
that
yeah.
effect.
I remember seeing this and it just blew our minds because I mean it
No
was
pun
it was
intended.
it was blue. Wow, it was nominated
Jesus
for
Christ.
visual effects.
Yeah.
and it's like and it won for visual effects and it's like
It won
for
one.
good reason. It won for visual effects and was nominated for sound too for good reason. Like the sound was pretty
Pretty good.
amazing.
For the theme song. Dun, dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Oh,
No,
Can't find it because it's too far down in this list.
Favorite characters?
I
Go
guess
ahead.
we can move it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Corey.
I'm just asking you. Is there any more favorite parts?
Yeah, this movie is one of those movies that it's just scene of like just that I
Um,
love so much. So favorite characters.
Yeah, Goldblum, all day. I think he was the most interesting for sure. I mean, Will Smith is fun.
Yeah.
In it, but as far as an interesting character goes, I think Goldblum takes the cake for that. I was way more invested in his story than I was in Will Smith's.
Yeah.
I think he has, of course, Will Smith is charismatic and he's always fun to watch on screen. But as far as the character goes, I wasn't. He felt very side character to me in that sense. So Goldblum all the way.
I can't remember her. Oh, it's Vivica.
Vivica
Vivica
Fox.
Fox's character.
Yeah,
Jasmine.
Jasmine. That I think that was my favorite character, just because she did whatever she needed to do to live her life how she wanted, and she was smart and is one of the very few people who survived that blast.
Yeah, this is fair.
The dog made it.
And she saved the dog.
And she saved the dog, which is very
Dog
important.
saved
to me.
himself.
I like. That was so fucking badass.
Dog saved himself. She just told him
The
where they were.
I guess they can all continue to save themselves.
the president. I like the president. I like
Bill
Bill
Pullman?
Pullman. Yeah. I like his.
I think he's super underrated.
Yeah.
He's fucking great in Casper. He's phenomenal in
Bill
Casper.
Pullman. I like in anything that he does.
Yeah.
So,
More Bill Pullman,
yeah.
Hollywood.
Yes, please.
Do it.
More Bill Pullman
I
now.
mean, Spaceballs, Lake Placid. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I like Bill Pullman.
My favorite character is also Jeff Goldblum's character.
Chef Goldblum.
Chef Goldblum. But I would like to give a special shout out for the same reasons as you did. Special shout out to Harvey Firestein.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a legend.
He's a Broadway legend.
Yeah.
It's I mean, he was hilarious in this. Like, I gotta call my I gotta call my mother. I gotta call my lawyer. Like,
yeah.
I was like,
Not the
You know
lawyer.
what?
Not
There
the
was
lawyer,
a
not the
thing
lawyer.
in
Lawyer
the
can
You sound
do
like
it.
him now.
There
Oh
was
my
a
God, you really.
mother.
He's actually been building up this this scratchy throat
episode.
for this episode.
There was a thing in the 90s where people fucking loved to hate lawyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first person who gets killed and is probably the shittiest person in Jurassic Park is
a lawyer.
the lawyer.
Yeah.
The line for this, the lawyer. Like, no, not the lawyer. Never mind.
The lawyer.
Like, let him die. You're like, Jesus.
You have to say that.
No.
Matchmaker, make me
Yeah,
a match.
Also, I loved his dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
his
most
dad was
Jewish
great.
man of all
Yeah.
time.
Look at me. I look like a Shamamil.
Yeah.
Judd Hirsch.
My David. He keeps calling him my David.
Yeah. You punched the president.
My favorite character is actually I don't remember her name, but Jeff Goldblum's wife.
The Speaker,
Speaker of the House.
Oh.
I liked her a lot for 50% of the movie. We'll talk about that in qualms later. But I really liked, like, she was the go-getter. She was the one's like, Mr. President, we're gonna change your outlook, and like, he's like, that's all you're gonna get, boys. And like, it reminded me of The West Wing in the best way
Yeah.
possible, because I like a confident woman in a place of power that's not like, you do what I say and when I say it, but more like, hey guys, we're all having fun, but also shut the fuck up and listen to me. Like, to me, it's playful, and I think there's the ideology of playful power, and guys can have it too, but like, it's really well done when a woman can do it because they have a type of way of playing it off, and I think she played off so well. And also, a thing that I loved about it is that she also has the same weird tooth thing like I do, where one of the teeth is longer.
There you go.
The front
Wow.
teeth. I was like, oh, I like that.
I'm into it.
I can relate.
I'm
I
not
can
the
relate.
only one.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked her like so much. I was like, fuck. I would want to see a whole movie with her.
I also want to give a shout out to
My brother.
Data.
Brent Spiner.
Brent
Oh,
Spiner.
yeah.
I know his character's name.
Dr. Oak?
Dr. 51.
Oaken.
Dr. Oak.
Dr.
Oaken.
Oaken.
Oaken. I got it.
Him just being giddy. Like, it was just such a funny thing to
It
like.
was so
There's
cool.
the world is literally falling apart, but he's excited because the spaceship turned on. and,
Anything
like,
is happening.
Like,
because
he gets
since
called
it's
out
been
on
sitting
it.
there since like the 50s. Yeah, he gets
Yeah.
called out on it, but at the same time, it doesn't go away.
It doesn't.
Like, he's like, oh, I feel kind of bad, but they're like, you guys want to operate on it? He's like, let's operate on it. Like, I just loved his characterization of this like guy who's like literally can't talk about his work ever because it's Area 51.
Anywhere.
But now here comes the president and like 30 other people on the day the ship started working again. He's like, guys, I have to tell you about this. It's been nuts.
Geeking out on it.
So
It's
shout
awesome.
out to honorable mention.
Honorable mention also to General William Gray, the general that wants to stay behind with the president, who just fucking listens to the president. I'm like, that's a good ass dude. That's
Is
the
that
dude.
from Big?
Uh,
Yeah.
Yes. Because like he's like, I'm gonna stay here, get everyone all to the like a secure location. He's like, do you mind if I stay here with you, President? I was like, that's your guy. That's your guy.
That's
who's
who
gonna
you
be there
want.
for you.
Yeah.
And
who you
like
want.
whenever the
Adam Baldwin, this character.
Adam Baldwin is a flight commander. He's a koala
Slightly
mine.
different. Okay. All right,
It's a small one, stupid.
Got it.
But I like him as an actor. But yeah, I really just liked him, and like military most of the time in movies is always really portrayed as like idiots. That don't know what they're doing.
Meatheads.
Yeah, and then like also
Jarheads.
government,
Yeah.
but it's also you have to play within that. So you have like the Will Smith who's like, I'm the logical one, but I'm also like charismatic in military.
Hot shot.
And then you have Bill Pullman who's like, I'm in a big wig in government, but I'm also like I have the heart of the people. And then you have the opposites.
Yeah.
But then he, as a military person, plays a very like, I'm just the loyal guy.
Yeah.
And it's like really, really cool to have that.
Mhm.
And plus, like he reminds me of a little bit of like the people I've met in the military. So
He's the one who's in $1 Billion Movie, by the way.
Okay.
Tim and Eric.
okay.
Oh,
And he's great in that.
Any other? Did we get everyone's favorite characters?
We got it.
I think so. Yeah.
Quimquams, gripes.
Quim.
Give me gripes. I got
so-
a few. Go ahead, Tom. Start us off.
I'll start it off. So Adam Baldwin,
Yeah.
he comes in walking in, and to me, I'm gonna say like this. Maybe it's because of distress, and maybe because like the world's about to end, so shit doesn't matter. But he comes walking in with Will Smith. He's like, "This is Captain blah blah blah," and his fucking Class A uniform's undone. And as a military, like someone who was like in the military, like in JROTC and like had to do military regulation shit, I was like, why is that? But then also like, there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, and I'm not gonna look it. I'll look it up. But it's like for them to not look like they're actually making fun of the military, they have to have 7 things wrong on their military uniform, so
Oh,
that they're
in
not
movies?
impersonating. Yeah, but I'm also like,
Oh,
but you
weird.
also get military consultants,
Yeah.
so like you should just have it accurate.
That shouldn't be one of the things.
So
is what
it's
you're
just
saying.
weird. It's just like we're like,
Might be a studio rule.
what the fuck? And things have changed, definitely. Like films like with Michael Bay, especially with Zack Snyder, they show the military in a very pristine way.
Oh yeah.
Positive. Yeah.
Very positive way, and they try to be as very accurate as possible, but there's still dumb shit, like weird salutes and all that stuff. So that's one weird thing that was just like, what? Everyone in the entire room is all done together, but you have just your jacket open. Will Smith, like putting his Class A jacket on to get married, I'm like, all right, that's stupid. I've seen dumb cadets do that shit, but it's like also they're a piece of shit. So,
There could be some people who
Wanted
just did
he wanted to wear something slightly nicer for a
it.
wedding.
Yeah.
you do.
I've seen people
you,
get married in there.
You do it, but you could do it in a formal attire. So you could do a white shirt and
But
then a black tie.
he didn't have it.
He doesn't have anything, but you could just wear his normal Class A uniforms, and they're at a military base. They could probably get.
But they have like
Uh,
not much time, right? He's got to take it back off and get back in the
just
gym.
take it off.
Just
Uh,
that's a very
Again, it's a minutia
petty.
qualm. A second thing is after all the guys in the film get together, the women all become just supporting like
Yeah.
wives.
yeah. That did bug
and that's
me.
why I said like she's my favorite character, and I liked her for 50% of the movie because after like all the guys come in, they're all connected, and all the like Vivica Fox survived the entire explosion and all that shit, and get people together and, all that
saved
shit.
like
And then all of a
10
sudden, like
people.
I'm just rooting for my husband. Like,
Yeah.
go out there and fucking make some shelter shit. Do the thing that you just did. Or like the Speaker of the House is like, I'm here for the president. The president's gonna have a good, but my husband now, I gotta be there for him. It's like, no, what the fuck, your job? But like that argument does warrant it of like
Your
yeah,
job.
You need to like be with your husband and shit like that. But I was just like, oh, cool. Well, now it's just the guys' movies, and I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be on an agenda. Or anything.
Independence dudes.
I don't have an agenda or anything like that, but it was like, I was like, wow, these are like, there were all these character ties that I liked, and not because like the president knows this MIT guy, but it was like the president's, main person that he works with, his husband works at MIT. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like there's
That's-
these cooler threads. Now all the threads are gone, and so those loose ends are just not important.
Yeah.
tossed aside. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I did not like initially the whole eccentricism of the doctor, because I was just like, yeah, I get it. It was a little much, it just felt very like, can we get on? Can we get on with it? Like, I know that we need to see all this happen. Like, I would rather like him get straight to the point of like, this is the zoo or blah, blah, and then like, cool, the alien part happens and they explain like
I
death,
think
no peace.
part of
done.
my reasoning that he's a bigger part is at the time he was Data.
he was a bigger actor.
Oh, yeah.
Huge fucking
yeah.
time. So like
Yeah.
give him more. Put him he's gonna put people in seats.
and put him in a place where he's not Data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I got it, but I was kind of like, I wish this happens earlier because now it feels like you're kind of killing time. in order and less plot development.
Mm.
Because now all the characters are converged in one area almost at this
I
point.
can see that.
The only character that's not there is Will Smith's character.
Yeah.
And then right when Will Smith's character, it's like, all right, get on. Move on with it. So
They could have
I-
also
I
not
liked
rid
it.
him. They could have also not. He doesn't die, but killed him off. That they could have just been like, oh, like they shot the alien and then he like
yeah, I'm
lost his
curious
grip.
now. I forgot about that. He's in the second one, and I'm
Yeah.
curious because they check
Yeah.
his pulse and say that he's dead.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Mhm.
Very curious.
Josh has all the spoilers.
He does.
Join our Nerd on Nation for all the spoilers.
I'm gonna watch it this
I
week.
think I watched that movie only because I love this one so
Yeah.
much, and I
Oh yeah, same.
It was like, cool, let's get that with better special effects. And
Yeah.
it could be fucking dope. But anyways.
yeah.
Yeah, I think those are my main qualms. Is like the whole at the middle of the second act, I'm like, women don't fucking matter.
Yeah. Agree.
It's more of a character standpoint. I'm not saying women don't matter,
Yeah,
but also
yeah.
women do matter.
Yes.
Men and women in black.
Perfectly done.
I only had one real qualm with this, and
No Batman?
it's not really even that. No Batman. That's a pretty major one, but
Shout out to Robert Pattinson.
to Robert Pattinson.
Robert
for real.
Robert
I'm not being facetious.
Robert Pattinson.
you're gonna kill it. Maybe.
Robert
Hopefully.
Pattinson.
And it was really just
knows?
it was just at the end, just using a Mac to
That's
to
my
do
qualm.
thing.
I said
But-
virus in 1996.
Virus 1996, and it was just a product of the time. Computer boxes, magic computer
Wait, wait,
boxes, viruses.
Could you explain that a little bit more?
Okay, so
Like
the-
1996 specifically. I don't know.
Well, it was just that like
it's
our computers in 1996 infecting an entire alien.
oh.
yeah, so he
Our computers in 1996
launches.
can do shit.
He because the whole thing is
They
that
can play solitaire.
he doesn't
Yeah.
want to catch a cold, and that makes him think of like make them catch a cold, which is a virus.
Well,
So
Yeah.
let's write a virus, inject that virus via USB to.
Luckily,
the
they
mothership.
use USB.
Yeah, boy,
Who knew?
USB 1, baby.
that and speaks like Mac or Unix language
Yeah.
that to understand what he's doing. So I mean, but you can think of
And then
it like
he did his own
and like it's a stupid grab to have,
It would
and
be,
it's like it's a badass moment. It's a great
You didn't say the magic
Nedry
word.
comes out of nowhere. But
Barbasol.
the whole like they don't like explain it, so it doesn't age. So that part just doesn't age well. And you can even say like, oh, they spent the however many years it's been there since Roswell or whatever. That they
Yeah,
spent
but
that
how does
time.
he know how to use it?
That's the thing. Well, it was like we spent the time and researched and figure out a way to have a translator that where we could write Apple script and it would translate to alien script. And so you're free to use that, Jeff.
People
And
are
then-
much more technologically
like-
aware now than
yeah.
they were in 96.
So like now that doesn't fly.
No.
Well, I mean, I think that to me, it kind of comes in line a little bit of like how smart Jeff Goldblum's character is.
Yeah.
Like he in himself says, I stumbled upon the frequencies, but then in the beginning, like you're establishing he's smart because he
it's-
beats his dad at chess.
To me, it's nothing about how smart he is. It's literally like technological compatibility.
Right. That's all it is.
And also that he's the first one to find this like code
Well,
in
to-
the
well, it's-
signal
yeah.
when so many scientists
People-
that all
so-
they
other
all
people
they do
would've-
Is there
all
that
day
way?
For all we
is
know, they
just
did.
listen to that.
For all we know,
They're-
people around the
they were
world
working on
did figure it
Alienware.
out.
Well, here's
That's
here's the thing on that note. It's like some people like, okay, I know that we give Ali shit for noticing things in visual effects that nobody else notices. We give you shit for like a mole. It's tiny things.
we
where
give
it's
you
like,
shit, Josh, for liking things.
Fair.
But what's your point?
Just kidding.
My point is it's like some people notice things differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So him seeing a pattern or something like that out of something.
Seem
Again,
terminal.
Not my issue. He could have
Yeah.
cracked
Yeah.
it. He could
Oh
have.
no, she had said something
yeah,
about like
that's fair.
Yeah.
He could have cracked it a million times. I believe that. But hooking a Mac up
Hooking
to
a Mac
motherboard
into the ship.
There's
a
that.
mothership.
was the, and it's like, oh, they probably like hardwired it and like retrofitted a
I can't
USB
even
port.
connect my iPhone to my computer without a dongle right now. There's no way that he had like
Oh
my
my
own
God.
computer. I can't connect my phone without an adapter.
So
So,
I
there's
mean,
no
that's
way.
the only thing where it's like it's a little comedic in that sense, but it doesn't take away enough
No.
from the movie for me to really like score it lower for it. But
Right.
it's one of those things that just kind of pops up.
Side note,
It
I'm
wasn't
very
enough for me to score it
curious
lower.
that the like
Maybe for me
binary code that he pulled, what it actually said, or if it said
Oh, yeah.
anything,
Oh,
because
that
he
would be
does
fun.
flash it. So I wonder what it
Why it
actually
says Happy
says.
4th of July.
yeah.
Probably.
I hope so.
Any other qualms?
I have a
I
couple
have
of
a
qualms.
few. Do you have another one, Tom?
Go.
kind of chronologically, I didn't like that Harvey Firestein's character died. I was like, oh man, you kind of made me care about him, and I know that that's why he makes you. You're like, oh gosh, oh that makes my heart hurt, but it almost kind of makes me. I don't know. It was just a part that I was like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have.
I
Same.
mean, I would
It
say
doesn't. It didn't serve an actual like purpose.
Gave
To-
it brevity.
I like
Or
to-
not brevity.
to Corey's point.
Yeah, he died. So yeah, correct. It did give him brevity.
So I mean,
He
to
was
Corey's
ended.
point, a lot of times is like people who don't deserve to die shouldn't die.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the dumb people that did dumb shit should die.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, welcome the aliens. That's
Yeah.
dumb shit. You should die.
should die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go call my brother and go get him. I was like, you should die. That's what their movie's saying.
Yeah.
To me, that's what the movie's saying.
Well, it's like
And I-
Vivica A.
you can- I don't-
Fox's character was in the same traffic, so I was kind of like, well, I mean, you can't say same traffic. I mean, same kind. Anyway,
And,
New
no,
York versus
and I
LA.
mean, you can kind of critique that in the sense
Yeah.
of like that's what the filmmaker is saying.
Yeah.
Is that if you do dumb shit, you deserve to die, and that's apparently a dumb thing to do, and you don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a
In,
that's
his,
calm.
in the in filmmaker's eyes, that's a dumb.
Yay, you put good words into my thought.
It's-
And
Well done.
Yeah. My other qualm, and it really it really got me this time. Again, these qualms, they don't take away from my enjoyment of it. It just makes
it's
me
still
laugh.
gonna be a 5.
You don't know that. And I only noticed it on this time watching it through. Okay, so they get all these pilots together. Some of them are like Randy Quaid's character. He does
crop dusting
crop dusting.
I do that all the time.
in a propeller
and
plane.
I get it that they're all pilots. Flying a jet is a completely different animal.
Didn't Randy's character?
He was in the
to fly
Vietnam
jet,
War.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just didn't feel like they really developed that. And plus jets compared to I'm not a pilot, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the history of
Yeah, because they were like
jet planes.
anyone
like-
with flight experience, but it's like that's not gonna prepare you to fly a jet.
I flew a paraglider.
So that was it just made me laugh where
Yeah.
I was like,
But again, he would be the one out of the 30 people who showed up.
Who
Who was like,
doesn't-
I was in Vietnam. What about the rest of you?
Show of hands
Yeah.
of people who don't pass out at 3G.
yeah.
All right.
Also, real quick, can I be honest? That is the character that Corey would pick in an RPG.
Yeah.
Oh my
He's
god.
mad.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's
crazy ass
100%.
drunk dude who fucking knows the shit though.
Yeah.
He's like, I told you it's all happening.
He'll make the sacrifice play. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Love that. So good.
I have a few, but do you have another one?
Go ahead.
The dog jump.
Yeah,
Away from the flames.
Didn't need it.
that's a Roland
need it?
Emmerich.
Did
classic.
not need that shot.
I
Took me
needed it.
out of the film. And I was like, and it's slow mo. I don't remember the dog's name, but let's just say it's like
It's the only
Rover.
time when the visual effects
Rover.
aren't that great too.
Slow-mo. Rover.
I would. I
He's
would
like
s-
running slow mo and jumps, and then the like super fake CGI fire. It goes. You know, it would go in. Like it
would
it's-
go in.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I would say like this. It's kind of like
I hated that
what you
shot.
said about the Brent Spiner thing. This is also the time of like Air Bud
yeah.
and animal fucking movies, and so it's like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously you have to do that.
Still
shit.
don't need that shot.
I loved it.
Fire
I-
burns.
I
Yeah.
remember thinking that when I was little.
The thing is, what you
I
should
remember
do
when I was little too. It was
instead
great.
is not have that jump shot, and then when Vivica A. Fox sees the rest of the world with the president, there's the dog.
Yes, that's it.
The
That's
dog
all I need.
survived.
Just make the dog survive. But
Yeah.
I didn't need the slow mo like jumping at the camera
And
from
that's
a low
why
angle.
I said
I
Vivica A.
needed
Fox
it.
saved the dog.
Fire
Um,
burns oxygen, and there's still oxygen in that passageway.
Yeah. My other issue is Harry Connick Jr. putting on some like black voice type thing. Some
What?
like when he's talking to
Oh yeah,
Will Smith.
my brother. Like he's doing all
Yeah,
that kind of
he's
stuff.
doing that stuff.
Yeah,
And it,
Mm.
he's like asking for
was
the gospel
strange.
and like all
Oh,
this
when they're
stuff.
redoing fucking Top Gun.
in the dressing room.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, because
Uh,
it's they're
Have you
redoing
ever
Top
heard
Gun.
a Southern minister?
Yes.
Like a
Yeah.
white Southern minister?
Yes.
Oh, because I've heard white Southern ministers that sound exactly like that.
Oh, it still
So
didn't.
that's
fly-
why I
I'm-
didn't- I
I'm
was
also.
like, oh.
It could be baggage that I grew up listening to Harry Connick Jr. sing and do live
Oh,
shows.
okay, yeah.
So like it
Oh.
was a very. I was like,
Yeah, I thought he was putting on a character of a Southern
Um,
minister.
I
Same.
also.
But I get it.
And this is my own preference. When he shows the ring with the two dolphins, that is the cheesiest, tackiest shit in the
Yeah,
world.
it was.
And it's supposed to be this heartfelt moment. And we was watching
She's
with my
got a
wife.
thing for-
My wife and I both were sitting there silently, be like, "Oh, he's got a ring," and then we both went, because she loves dolphins.
She's got a thing for dolphins, Corey.
So that was a mark in my But then the virus was
In
the
your
other big
Qualms
thing.
book?
Don't hate her for loving dolphins.
I don't hate
Corey.
her for loving dolphins. I hate him for picking out that ring.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got it.
Well,
That
also,
character's
this
choice.
is the guy that.
My wife loves elephants. I didn't get
But-
her a wedding ring with elephants around.
Why not?
I wish
She
you
would have
did.
hated it.
But also this.
I'm imagining this giant wedding ring with like, it's a dolphin head that, or not a dolphin, an elephant
head.
head, and the trunk like goes up.
Holds
It's
a
got
little diamond
diamonds.
at the
She
end.
would have hated it.
This is the
100%.
guy that was also going to break up with her too.
Yeah, but still.
So I mean, like he's not fucking smart. He's just a chosen one for no reason.
Oh,
Still.
Who punches aliens?
Still bothered me, regardless. But the only one that really makes a mark against the film is the virus on a Mac
That's
somehow
fair.
connecting, and the dog jump.
a Mac having a virus.
The dog jump also.
Oh, that.
really bugged me. That's it.
No, I that dog jump. That's the only time in the movie where the visual effects you were like,
It wasn't even how bad they looked. It was like the whole moment. The whole moment was just weird.
I
up to
did definitely think of the fact that like when it went forward, I was like, that door's not closed. They're gonna die. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're fine.
It just the angle of the shot, the slow motion, and everything.
that was
just
when the
like-
film went.
Yeah, everything else was fine.
Don't think.
I
Fair.
think for me, it's more of like a, again, this is a film that's in its time, and
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
good to have their heroes and all that shit. Like, now watching it as an adult, I don't like how Bill Pullman became a pilot because he kind of almost didn't do anything as a pilot. He
He
kind of was
flew
just
around.
there. And to me, I think symbolically, it's
I mean,
like
he
it's good
takes
to-
the final shot that.
I thought I'm back.
No, he takes the shot that shows everyone the shields are down.
Oh yeah.
He's
He's
leading them all.
useful. He's
He's that
useful.
one thing, but it's kind of like for me,
Randy Quaid only does that one thing.
yeah, he does that one thing. Like that's fucking very useful.
Brevity.
So is Bill Pullman's. He shows everyone's turning around and he takes another shot and everyone flips their shit to fight this thing.
To me,
Without him, none of it would have
To
happened.
me, I just more like you have to be the leader of the country. It's like if you die,
everyone was leaving and he
if you
stayed.
die, then there's no more president. The vice president, all the designated survivors are all gone already.
But also, if he doesn't go, everyone could die.
well, it's kind of like keep shooting, guys. Keep
It's a
shooting, guys.
worldwide Independence Day. Tom.
Yeah, so
Brevity. Brevity.
I don't know. To me, it was more like I didn't watch the second one, so I want to see what his character does
Yeah,
because I don't know. Like
I honestly don't remember
as
the whole
a
thing.
as a kid watching, I'm like, yeah, fucking the leader should be in the front lines with his soldiers. But like now, as an adult, as I grown up, I'm like, I don't know. You kind of have to make sure like all your fronts are good.
Yeah.
You can't just be like on your front and be like,
but-
I'm gonna keep shooting because I believe in our fighting system, and then like I'm the one that finds a way. It's like,
But
if
the
you had
issue-
a really good soldier, you do the same thing.
But the issue is if they don't win that fight, the entire planet's gone. So like, where is he going to go
It's just to me
to lead people?
It's
Who's he leading?
it's very contrived that the president's the only one that does that.
What?
That keeps firing, that finds the opening,
Yeah.
and not anyone else that's been flying that wasn't campaigning to be president.
Well, they had orders to turn around.
Again, those orders would have been override if the president of the United States, who becomes the general of America.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens in wartime. You become the general of America.
Yeah.
You lead all of the military. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I don't see it, but yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
That was dope as shit.
Okay. I'll just not have qualms.
No, I'm just saying.
I'll go away.
It's not one of mine.
I'll lead next turn. I'm kidding, Corey.
I'm gonna do that to you next time you do that to one of mine. No, that's fine. I don't have feelings.
Okay, cool.
oh my god!
Oh, the
I hate it when
love
mom and
is
dad
strong.
fight.
I don't think I had,
Welcome to the last episode.
I don't think I had any other qualms really.
I wasn't asking. I was just trying to make a point to Corey.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wow, this just got really
Please
uncomfortable. I feel
continue.
complete. I feel complete.
I don't. My favorite part is when Bill Pullman fires the second.
I was gonna say, no wait, his favorite part that's the whole movie. If
Yeah.
we only got a movie where he's flying a plane, Independence Day 3. Does he survive in the second one?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
like I
Yeah, he
need to.
does.
I need to
Yeah, well,
watch it
because
again.
he's got to turn on the megaphone and say, "I'm not wearing hockey
Oh
pads."
my God.
I thought you were like, he does
Leave.
survive because he finds the needle. And I was like, oh my god.
And
Fuck
then
yeah.
he's like, I'm back.
Found an opening
Yeah.
again.
I'll be back.
Oh.
Well,
So
now
now
I feel
rating.
complete.
Did-
oh
did
no!
Ollie-
Yeah.
Wait.
Did
Rating.
Ollie
We have a rating.
actually say his
He
qualms?
said he doesn't have any.
Me?
No, it was the MacBook.
You were about
Yeah, the
to.
Mac's
I
on the
thought.
computer.
Oh, never
He
mind.
said I don't have any more.
I don't always hate everything.
Oh,
Just
huh.
most of the
Surprise.
time.
Just,
Wow.
just most
Is it,
of the time.
hold on. Is it really an episode of a recording you don't hate everything?
Fair.
I don't know. at
Good
this
point.
Rating. So,
Why do you think I went to movies
Caitlin
like
and
three times a
Ollie-
year?
Caitlin and Ollie are last. Tom is second. That's just me and Josh. I'll go first. 4.5. It would have been like a 4.8, but the virus and the dog jump take it down to a 5 for me. But
Take it
take it
take it down to a 5.
4.5. I said
Oh,
active listening. So
Welcome to the last episode.
more you know.
for me, it's. I think this is like, it might be my favorite disaster film. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of one that I've liked more than this, or had more fun with, or enjoyed the plot lines. Like, I think most disaster films are like spectacular in the sense of how they look, but I've never cared about the characters' plot lines. I've never been like, man, that plot line was great. This plot line was great.
I would say
always
this
just like,
one balances the spectacle and character best.
right, exactly.
Some of them do better spectacle, or some of them do better character.
Yes.
This one is best.
So, and there was I don't think there was any moment where I saw one of the main characters do something and I went, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Which usually happens they're like, we should go out in the tornadoes and go in the middle and see if we can find our friends.
Well, when he
Don't do that.
when he crop dusts the wrong field.
I mean, yeah, okay, to be fair, there's one moment. But yeah, so for me, it's a.
But he's also a drunk, so
But
he would do
apparently
that.
he saved the world.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he had how many coffees?
'Cause he
I'm
got-
gonna need more of these.
Keep it coming.
Yeah, mine's the same, 4.5.
Okay.
I love this movie. It's just some of the logic stuff makes you go,
And also, Harvey Firestein dies.
Yeah.
I die.
it's Harvey Firestein dies, so minus half a point.
You can reprise him in the second one.
That's how.
I can.
oh my God.
Tom, your rating? Harvey?
Am I next?
Yeah.
You guys haven't. Wow.
You're rating as Firestein.
Mine's 4.
Oh.
Solid 4.
Okay.
Mine was almost
It's
4.
like, it's there. It's enough.
Yeah.
But I'm
Mine
like,
was gonna
cool.
be 4, Tom, but then I was like, I had so much fun watching this that I like
So
4.5.
And this is like a nostalgia baggage. Dante's Peak was a better disaster flick
Okay.
because it's a family and it's just a family.
I need
But
to
then
watch it
it's a
again.
way different movie. It's
Yeah.
not a spectacle. There's
Yeah.
not so many miniatures, and Pierce Brosnan's fucking Pierce Brosnan.
yeah.
And it's more of a thriller
Mhm.
because you don't know when the volcano's gonna hit, and that's the scary thing. But
Does
with
that
this,
mean-
it's like tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, like
I think
checkmate.
maybe I guessed right.
Hmm.
So I know, maybe it didn't.
Ollie or Caitlin now. Ratings.
Oh,
Nose goes.
Josh's
Yeah, you can't use that rule no more.
Dang
No,
it.
just kidding.
Josh is 4.8,
4.
No, I was 4.5.
4.5.
Corey was 4.5 as well.
Ollie.
4.7.
Wow.
I had a.
Caitlin and Tom were wrong.
This was one of my favorite movies at the time when it was
'Cause
out.
you voted for him. That's all.
Before The Dark Knight came out, this was one of my favorite movies.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
Yeah, I love this
It
movie.
was this, and then The Dark Knight.
I mean, no, I'm
Fucking,
saying one
like-
of
14 years later.
one of my favorite movies. Like I owned it, like watched it all the time, like watched it with friends. I just loved every bit of it. Like even the Mac stuff. Like I was like, it's fun, it's funny,
Yeah.
it's fun. Like whatever, I'm having a good
We
time.
learn new things about
I
each
lo-
other
like,
all the time.
Jeff
I didn't
Goldblum-
even know that.
Jeff Goldblum, one of my favorite actors. Will Smith, one of my favorite actors growing up. Like, come on, it's perfect.
Bill Pullman's Bill Pullman.
Will Pullman's amazing. I didn't really have any actual gripes with it, if you don't count the
Because
virus thing
gripes don't exist in this multiverse.
Caitlin, score.
in this multiverse.
4.8.
There you go.
Yep.
I was
I
going
wish.
to say, you don't even have to answer. Tom's a grum. No, just kidding.
Your number doesn't
All
matter.
right.
Oh, you tied with
No,
Corey.
I wish that they would have done more. The stories,
women.
the threads were so interesting, and then it just got to
women.
the last little bit, and then the ladies just stopped being as interesting. They were just
became
kind of
arm pieces. At
they
the
were
end.
would've
arm
been a
pieces
5
at the
otherwise.
end.
Literally.
It
End
would have
credits.
been a 5, just because like the cheesy stuff didn't bother me so much. Of it was like
Don't
kind
worry,
of cheesy.
don't worry, honey. Mommy's sleeping.
Yeah.
Mommy's sleeping forever.
Oh.
Mommy sleeping. Yeah.
Oh, God.
But you're
Yeah.
in my arms because all the guys got to
But
have
we'll
a woman
get
in
a
their
new
arms.
mommy,
Brevity.
much younger. Just made it dark for no reason.
But yeah.
Is
that-
mommy
that's-
sleeping?
4.8?
It was great. I like the movie.
There you go. So
Hey.
I take back
Tom.
the crown.
You really treated it like you were like 4.8. You really treated
I
it
got
like
it
you gave it
right.
a really low number.
Yeah.
Like it really took it
I would
way
love-
down because
we
of this.
should-
And that.
we should go back and listen to who got the most right grumps.
Oh.
If anyone wants to do that,
Well, I mean, whoever picks Raleigh is typically right.
if anyone wants to do that, we will send you a handwritten
bet.
thank you letter.
I'm the
Yeah.
Scantron.
Yeah.
What didn't you see?
I'm
We
serious.
will.
If anyone wants to find out what our current star ratings are, or if anyone wants to tell us who's gotten the most guesses for who's guessed that grump right, then we'll send you a handwritten thank you letter from all of us
Yes.
with maybe a little
Excel
special
format.
prize
Gifty
inside.
gift.
Yeah.
Excel format. I want to see every score.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
See it
God.
highlighted.
No.
Cross-reference.
No.
The
Scroll-
median.
Scroll through 96
I want the
episodes.
mean
I have
for
a
everybody.
$6 Subway gift card, and it's all yours if you do all this for us.
Oh my God.
I have $3.50 on an AMC gift card. I can
We'll
give-
send you both of
throw
those.
Both of those.
I got like a couple.
You guys actually can't spin those now.
I know.
You got to save them.
I got a
Yeah.
couple cents on a Cold Stone that I'm not going to put in.
There you go. Oh, you're not. gonna
Oh,
put that.
okay.
No, he's had it for
Because
too
I
long.
can't
He's
still
just
spend
dangling
it.
that carrot.
So there you
Cool.
go. That was
Wow.
it. I feel complete. Now I feel complete.
Now
There
I
we
feel
go.
complete.
I feel complete.
My sickened brain. Anyway, thank you so much.
You are sick.
everyone, for listening. We appreciate you more than you know.
If you're in the U.S., happy 4th.
Yes.
If you're not,
Enjoy that barbecue.
keep completing.
Yeah. Hope this. Hope
Enjoy the
space-
fireworks.
What the fuck?
Keep going. Keep going.
Don't stop.
Sometimes it's just a railroad where you're like, oh. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sharing with your family, your friends. Please stop by and drop us a review in Apple Podcasts.
Tell us what
'cause
you
that
think
does
of
help.
us.
Yeah.
Be nice. I'm just kidding.
You like the podcast?
If you're new to Nerd On and what we do, you can check us out at nerdon.tv. It has all the information about our shows. This show, Nerd On, the Nerd On Update, which is every Friday, and then our other show, Trope Time, which is once a month, hosted by our friends Nikki and Izzy. But yeah, check that out.
Everyone at home, take care of yourselves.
So you don't sound like this.
Stay healthy and keep completing.
And on
You
that,
sound like Forrest Whitaker.
I'm Sol Guerrero.
Oh,
Call my
boy.
lawyer. Sorry, go ahead.
you really do
got it
sound like
right.
Harvey, and it's
Yeah.
really
All right.
freaking me out because if you
Yeah.
just went like this, like we run a show with Harvey Firestein. This is so
Gotta call
amazing.
my
Crazy,
brother.
guys.
I'm gonna
You
have
know
you.
the drill.
I'm gonna have you end this.
All right, everyone. You know the drill. As always, nerd on. I can't even. I'm unable to can.